History of the life of medieval people. It's the year 1320. The world smells of wood smoke, mud, and candle wax. There are no phones, no cars, not even forks on most tables. People wake up with the sun and sleep when darkness takes over. Life is slow, harsh, and strangely peaceful. So, tonight, you're not just going to sleep. You're going back in time. Back to an age when nights were darker, colder, and dreams felt closer to reality. The world you're about to enter has no electric light, no screens, no noise. Only the soft flicker of candles and the whispers of people long gone. So, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let history tuck you in. This is Boring History for Sleep, where the past is quiet and dreams feel ancient. Let's find out what's in today's topic. Chapter 1, The Slow Sunset. 2, The Hearth and the Table. 3, The Sleepers and Their Dreams. 4, The Morning Bell. 5, Habits of Cleanliness and Care. 6, Work, Worship, and Wonder. 7, Evenings of Story and Silence. 8, The Night Returns. Tonight, let's quietly step back in time and see how ordinary people really lived in the Middle Ages. Without further ado, let's get into the story.
The Slow Sunset. Evening falls slowly over the medieval world. The fields grow quiet. The distant bell from a church tower calls the last prayer of the day, and the sun slips behind the crooked rooftops of a village built of wood and thatch. It is a calm time, neither day nor night, a soft hour when work ends and rest begins. People move gently, finishing what remains of the day's chores. The smell of earth, smoke, and freshly cut hay floats through the narrow paths between cottages. Inside each home, a small fire glows in the hearth. Children sit close to the warmth, watching the little flames rise and fall as if they were alive. Mothers stir pots of thick pottage, a slow-cooked mix of grains, beans, and bits of whatever the land could spare. Sometimes a bit of onion, sometimes a root, sometimes nothing but water and salt. Fathers mend tools or polish a pair of worn boots, while the dogs lie curled beside the door, half asleep already. This was the rhythm of evening, a rhythm so old and steady that it needed no clock to mark its passing. In a noble hall, the air was different. The light came not from a single fire, but from dozens of torches and candles, all flickering in polished metal. The smell of food was stronger: roasted meats, baked bread, spiced wine, and honeyed fruit. Servants moved like shadows, quiet but quick. At the long table, lords and ladies spoke in low voices, sometimes laughing, sometimes pausing to listen to a minstrel's song. Every gesture was measured, every movement watched. Even their comfort was wrapped in ceremony. For common folk, the meal was humbler, but no less meaningful. Bread was shared, ale was poured, and each bite was taken with gratitude. They ate together, heads bowed, murmuring small prayers of thanks. When the last crumbs were gone, they sat a while longer, talking softly. The talk was never grand. It was about rain and soil, a sick cow, a neighbor's wedding. But these were the threads that held their world together. After supper, the night deepened. In most homes, people slept in shifts, a first sleep and later a second. Between them came a strange, quiet hour. Some rose to pray, some checked on animals, some whispered to their spouses or stared into the fire. It was a private time, when dreams and waking thoughts mixed together. They believed dreams were messages, signs from God, or glimpses of the soul. To dream of fire meant danger. To dream of water, a coming change. And so even sleep had meaning, and the night was never truly empty. Before lying down again, people washed their hands and faces with cold water. It was a small ritual, but an important one, a way to feel clean before rest. Water was fetched from the well, poured into a wooden bowl, and used sparingly. Bathing was rare, but washing, even a little, was considered good for health and for the spirit. Some whispered a prayer as they did it, asking protection for the night. Outside, the village grew silent. The only sounds were the wind through the trees, the shifting of animals in their stalls, the occasional bark of a dog. Above them, stars glowed faintly through the mist. For most of these people, the night sky was a map of faith, each star a reminder of God's creation. They did not know the science of light or distance, yet they felt the immensity of the heavens more deeply than most of us do now. The rich and the poor alike depended on the same rhythm: sunrise and sunset, work and rest, hunger and relief. No one thought of controlling time. They followed it like a tide. And in that following, there was peace. The night was not something to fear, but something to accept. A pause, a breath, a long sigh before another day. If you close your eyes, you can almost hear it. The creak of wood, the slow whisper of fire, the quiet breathing of people at rest. The medieval night was simple, slow, and human. A world that ended every day not with noise, but with surrender. That was the slow sunset, the hour when the medieval ages exhaled and the world became still. In the next chapter, we will rise with the dawn, when bells ring again, and the people of the medieval ages return to their work, their prayers, and their gentle, ordinary hopes.
Chapter 2. The Morning Bell. The first sound of morning in the medieval people was not an alarm clock, nor the rumble of machines, but the deep, echoing voice of a church bell. Its tone rolled through the cool mist of dawn, calling the living world back from sleep. It was slow, solemn, and certain, the same sound that had opened every day for centuries. It was the sound of time itself. The bell marked not just an hour, but a rhythm of faith. It told the farmer when to rise, the monk when to pray, and the townsman when to open his shutters. It was not a choice to wake, it was a duty. And yet the waking was gentle, not rushed. The light came in softly through cracks in the shutters, through thin cloth windows made of oiled parchment. Dust floated in that light, turning each ray into a golden haze. A rooster crowed somewhere, and dogs barked in reply. In a village cottage, the hearth still held the faint glow of last night's fire. The air smelled of smoke, earth, and straw. Families stirred from their beds not of feathers or mattresses, but sacks of hay or wool,
spread over wooden frames. A mother rose first, quietly, tying her hair back with a strip of cloth. She reached for the iron pot, poured water into it, and set it over the embers to warm. The sound of boiling water would soon join the faint hum of life awakening. Children rubbed their eyes and pulled rough linen tunics over their heads. The smallest ones shivered, still sleepy, clutching to their mother's skirt. Outside, the sky was still gray. The air was damp and cold enough that breath came out as a pale cloud. Yet there was comfort in the routine. Every day began this way, and every day felt familiar, safe in its sameness. In a monastery far from the village, the same hour began with a different sound. There, the bell was followed by chant, a slow, resonant murmur of Latin words echoing off stone walls. The monks had already risen before the light touched the horizon. They knelt in silence, heads bowed, cloaked in brown wool robes. The air smelled of wax and cold stone. The rhythm of their life was prayer and work, ora e labora, words that shaped every breath of their day. While the monks prayed, farmers in the nearby fields began to prepare for their own sacred ritual, labor. They stepped out into the damp earth, tools in hand, their boots sinking into the soft ground. The fields stretched endlessly, still covered in dew. To them, this work was not punishment, but the order of life. The soil was their scripture, and the harvest their salvation. Back in the cottages, breakfast was simple, if it could be called that at all. Most people ate what was left from the night before: coarse bread, a bit of cheese, maybe some thin ale. For the poor, water was sometimes safer than wine, but harder to get clean. So weak ale, brewed low in alcohol, was the daily drink for both adults and children. It was a small comfort against the chill of morning. The wealthy, meanwhile, awoke to a different world. Their rooms were larger, their beds higher, their sheets of linen and fur. A servant would open the shutters, letting in the first light of dawn, while another brought a basin of water for washing. The nobleman might sit upright slowly, rubbing his hands, listening for sounds of the castle below, the clatter of the kitchen, the stomping of horses being fed. The smell of roasted bread or butter might drift up through the stone halls. The day for him would begin not with prayer in a chapel, but with decisions: what to hunt, whom to meet, which messenger to hear. Yet even for them, morning carried a kind of stillness. There was no rush, no endless noise, only the quiet certainty that life began again just as it had yesterday and would again tomorrow. As the sun rose, the color of the world changed slowly, gray to silver, silver to gold. Smoke began to rise from every chimney in the village. Cows were milked, sheep led to pasture, and hens scattered around the yards pecking at the ground. The sound of wooden wheels creaking under carts of hay or grain rolled down the dirt paths between houses. Voices began to mix with the hum of morning. Women called to each other across fences, trading small words about weather or bread. Men spoke little, working with hands already rough from years of the same motion. The morning in the Middle Ages was not a moment. It was a slow unfurling. Every gesture, every task carried the weight of habit. They did not wake to chase time. They woke to meet it. For children, the morning meant chores. Some fetched water from the well, walking barefoot along narrow paths, the bucket's handle pressing into their palms. Some collected eggs or fed animals. Learning began not with books, but with imitation, watching, repeating, remembering. The idea of school was distant, and mostly for the few. Life itself was the teacher. The monks' morning chants ended, and the sound faded into silence. Then began the first true work of the day: writing, tending gardens, repairing tools. Every act was a kind of devotion. Even sharpening a quill was done with care, for through it they wrote God's words into parchment, preserving the stories of an age that believed time itself was sacred. In towns, shopkeepers opened their shutters. The smell of fresh bread and smoke drifted through narrow streets. Blacksmiths began their rhythmic pounding. Bakers pulled loaves from clay ovens. Markets slowly filled with people, voices rising and falling like music. The medieval morning was alive, but never hurried. Every task was done by hand, every process slow, deliberate, and seen as part of a greater order. The bell that began the day was not forgotten. It rang again at mid-morning, marking the passage of hours. Time for them was not measured in seconds or schedules. It was measured by the sky, by the sun, by the sound of bells. Each moment had its place, and nothing needed to be faster than it was. In this world, slowness was not laziness, it was patience. The understanding that everything worth doing takes time. The morning was proof of that. It arrived gently, stayed as long as needed, and left quietly, giving way to the heat of day. And as the sun climbed higher, the sounds of prayer, labor, and life wove together into a single soft harmony, the heartbeat of a world that had learned to live in rhythm with the earth.
Hello, new and old members of the Sleepless Stories family. Lie comfortably in bed. Like every night, today we have brought a story that will give your brain a comfortable rest. To stay with us and listen to the story every night, subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell.